But you only know if you got your skin in the game.
Yeah. Had I not waited, I would have learned all those mistakes up front.
One day our sons and our daughters and stuff, we're going to be able to watch everything.
Your routine is supposed to be built around what your life like needs of you.
When I sit next to you, I'm like, you're go, go, go.
Yeah.
Did the kid help you or hurt you?
Good question. And I fucked up because, well, I didn't fuck up. I lost my job. This was my first notary.
My first client ever.
4 years ago.
Fuck.
And that made me like, yo, this is dope. Like, I like this idea. I want to do this idea.
I would say make money first.
Yeah.
Right? Then open the LLC.
Yeah. I started way too many LLCs in the beginning.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Winners Club podcast, where even when we don't win, we learn. And learning is a form of winning. It's been a long break because we had to do our Flip to Riches TV show, which is on YouTube, by the way. So if you haven't seen it, look up my name, Mr. Brian Trent, on YouTube. Check out the season because it was a wild one.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to PJ because he had to edit the whole thing, and that's why we couldn't do the podcast because he was literally consumed with the whole thing. But we're back. I don't know what season this is. Call it season 3.
Sure.
All right.
Season 3 of a Winners Club podcast.
So
we had to come back, though, man. We had to come back because we got a super special guest today, man.
That's right.
So you know what we said? We got to give back to the people, man.
Yeah.
So we're going to open it back up. But Brian, let it rip, man. Let it rip.
So this time around, I wanted to bring on movers and shakers, people that can inspire and just doing the damn business.
Yes, sir.
You know, I got none other than Juwan, Rohan, right here in the flesh. Can you give him a little elevator pitch on who you are and what you do?
I like to call myself progressive entrepreneur. So that's who I am. I'm from the Bay Area. And why progressive? Because we're always elevating in stages, right? It doesn't happen overnight, as we talked about. I made plenty of mistakes, and so progressive.
I love it, man. Yeah, man. This guy has been doing a lot of stuff, man. Left and right, starting businesses, doing different things, but definitely show that success, man, can be its own however you want to make it. So today we're going to dive in, guys.
All right.
Sure.
You were a recording artist.
A little bit.
How did you, what did that look like? Because that was the start. Bring us back to the start. Like, where did you grow up and why music in the beginning?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I grew up from the Bay, originally from Hayward, and lived in Berkeley. That's my
stack.
Yeah, exactly. I moved out of Hayward when I was 10, moved around a bit from the Bay Area, lived in Antioch, Oakland, settled in Berkeley for my adolescence, and went to Willard and Berkeley High School. And I've always been into poetry. And if you remember Lil Bow Wow back in the day, that was like one of my. I looked like him as a kid. He's 2-3 years older than me. Like,
hey, he hit the let me.
Go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I like that he loved basketball. Like basketball is my thing. So that was a whole nother story. But I tried to play professional basketball. That didn't work out. Tried to rap, and that didn't work out. But I've always been into poetry, and that's kind of what got me into the rap, to answer your question.
Got you. But like, what really was it about the rap, though? Was it like a money thing? Was it from the creative aspect?
I think it was the creative and just voicing myself. Like, I went through a lot as a kid, and so it was just an outlet for me. Really, basketball was an outlet, and just rapping. And then also, I mean, yeah, you could say it looked cool. And
yeah, for sure.
Like,
for sure.
They designer clothes and stuff.
Yeah, the idea of like living that luxury life, kind of a little bit. It was kind of sprinkled in there.
For sure. Yeah.
The cool thing about Juwan right now, he's a real estate investor, long-term hold, buyer's agent, listing agent. He does the real estate game, but he has a cool side hustle that I want to share later on. But, because people always ask me, like, yo, what can I do to make a little bit extra money? Yeah. That's a big thing I get asked a lot. And I don't know why I never thought about what you're doing, which is mobile notary.
Yeah.
Right? And it's a lot of money. Us alone, we're probably spending upwards of $1,200 to $1,300 a month because we're buying 3 to 4 deals, right? So, like, we should be bringing this in-house or at least getting Brandon approved with the escrow company.
I think so, man.
To sign it.
I think so.
But
it's going to be an amazing story, though, guys. So I'm excited. Let's just get it from the top, man. Let me know, like, what was your first entrepreneurial endeavor that kind of like a little bit before that had sparked? Like, I want to hear that story.
For sure. That's a good one. Back when I was living in Antioch, I was about 5th grade. My stepmom had her side hustle was kind of like buying stuff from like China and stuff and then reselling it. And so she had like a box of glasses, just like cheap glasses. And she would be like, all right, here, take them to school and sell them. And I'd be like, sell them for like 2 for $5, right? And that was kind of when I just like, that's the one I remember.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, everyone has the candy story. I was selling glasses.
Yeah.
Then it became cell phone cases in middle school, right? Same thing. She'd give me a box, go sell them. And so that was kind of the first entrepreneur bug. And then it kind of, like,
it's in your blood.
Yeah. But then it like took a backseat, and I focused on basketball a lot. And while I was doing that, I wasn't really selling anything. I made t-shirts in high school, didn't sell. I'd rather just give them to my friends. Right.
Yeah.
So I kind of took a backseat. I did, like hats, I want to say, so just stuff like that.
So when did the journey begin again? Was it after college?
After college.
Okay, so what was that business?
So after college, I got into the car rental business.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so like college was a whole different thing. You know, I went from Berkeley High, super diverse, and then I went to college in Colorado College, played basketball there, and I was like the only black kid on the team. I was pretty much like the only black kid in the school almost. So that was a learning experience in itself. And then I want to say I just was at tables with my teammates' parents asking questions. I'm not afraid to ask questions. Like I'll ask the dumb question, right? And everything that came up was stocks and real estate a lot, or like business. And so after college, in college, I met someone that was like-minded, you know, absent father, hustler, wanted to make money for his family. And we just got along really well. And he came to me one day and was like, hey man, I've been like renting out my car on this platform for like a couple months, and you should see the numbers I'm making. You should get into it.
Was this Turo? Turo was already out around this time?
Yeah, so if you know like the backstory on Turo was started in New York, and they ended up getting sued because someone driving killed like a 15-year-old or something like that back in like 2015, 16. And so they had to rebrand themselves. So they were called something else before that. And then they came here and started as Turo.
Oh,
And so when we started, it was end of like 2017. And then I like bought my first car in 2018.
Yeah.
He took me down there. We went to San Jose, got a car fresh off the lot, Mustang, like $12,000. And at that time I was making like $1,500 a month.
Oh, wow. What was the car note? Well, you cashed out 12 grand.
I mean, it was I got a car note. Okay. Like 200.
Oh, dude,
$12.
Yeah, that's winning. That's up right
That's what
there.
I'm saying. Back then it was great.
Yeah. What did that feel like, man? Because it does sound like the first moment when the money was kind of like hitting, right? Like kind of like stacking up. So what did it feel like for you?
So a mix of emotions, I'd say, in all honesty. One, I had a good job at that time too. I was working for Coca-Cola right in San Leandro as a account manager. He was a business development. So we both had really good jobs out of college. And then you start seeing that extra income. It's like, oh, I'm making a lot of money. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm making a lot of money. What do you do with it?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? And you know, the first thought of like people growing up in like not the greatest areas is like, I got to show out.
Yeah.
And me and him weren't on that page. And so we're like, all right, what can we build here? We go get more cars. Let's build the business, right?
There you go.
And so it's a mix of emotions because you're like, damn, I'm making a lot of money. What do? I'm still living at my mom's house.
Yeah.
I'm sharing a bunk bed with my brother after college.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? So very mixed emotions.
Let's talk about that. Where did you learn that from? Where do you think you learned the delayed? I call that delayed gratification, right?
I learned it.
Where did it come from?
I'm telling you, like, I think I've always been what would you say?
Humble?
Nah.
Savvy, like financial literacy. You had like a lot more financial literacy.
Just reserved as far as cash.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be flashy and all that. Like I like to dress good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't need the high end material.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Gucci. I'd rather get the off brand of Gucci and support someone, but still look nice.
Yeah.
So I've always been like that. And then I say college like really just changed my. I went to a good school, man.
So you got around some good parents because you're saying they were talking about stocks, real estate.
Yeah. Colorado College is one of the top schools in the nation, and the way they do their schedule is a block schedule. It's a whole other thing, but you take one class at a time for 4 weeks. So imagine a semester, right? Let's talk San Francisco State. You take 16 weeks of 5 different classes. We take 16 weeks into 4 weeks, and take one class at a time. We take 8 classes a year. So hard school.
Yeah.
Hard, right? me coming from, I mean, I was a 4.0 student in high school. That was one thing. I was really good at grades, knew I wanted to play basketball, wasn't in the street life, any of that. So I had my head on. And then when I learned that, like, oh, I can get paid for having my head straight.
Yeah.
Then in college, it took off.
No, I love that, man. It just sounds like from early on, you just had the mindset, the right environment, right? And we always talk about that, man. Like, environment is some of the biggest things. Like, just because you're around this environment, now that you have this idea of like what it means to be successful
for
to you, right? What it means to be, a man, right? A providing man, all this stuff. And it's just crazy. Like, same thing for me. Once I witnessed like and saw money like in person, I was like, bro, I'm not turning back, man. I was like, it's possible, right? And I think everybody needs to ask questions, be in the right room, and be around the right people, Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, and honestly, I give you a lot of props because, you mentioned absent father.
Mm-hmm.
People usually take it the wrong way. Mm-hmm. They use that as an excuse to go do bad stuff. I see it a lot.
Yeah.
But you took it as, I'm going to go and be a man. I'm going to go do the right thing. I'm going to go do what I need to do so you don't have to be that.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
True.
Because you're a family man, too. You got 3 kids.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love it. And I see that you're responsible. You're taking care of them. You're actually raising one that isn't even yours, your niece. Yeah. Right? I got to give this guy a lot of respect because, I mean, I don't want to say the world is stacked against you, but you weren't handed a golden silver spoon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I love it, man. Give this man some props. Yeah. You know what I mean? Give this man some props.
Our audience is not here.
My main thing is this. I always say this because like everybody always be like, oh man, like you look so lucky, or like I hate that shit.
Yeah.
Like just stop making excuses and go get your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't put me down and tell me it's fucking luck because I worked harder than you. You know?
Yeah. But that's cool.
Yeah, man. Love it.
Dang, a lot. And so then you also did a clothing brand.
Yep.
Tell me about that. Did they do well? I see you got I got your brand now. Is it popping? You a millionaire on selling clothes?
I wish. I would not. I would not be doing real estate and mobile notary stuff. I'll tell you that. No, but like I said, in high school, I was selling stuff. I was a hooper, so I would sell like T-shirts, HOD, and I had its logo, Hoop or Die.
Okay.
I was I'm telling you, hoop was everything and back then. And so I was doing that, and I just always had a love for it. Just like I said, fashion, creating my own fashion rather than purchasing like European fashion, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And so when did I start? After college, I want to say I got home, and I was into music and trying to do the music thing and going. I was performing at shows and for big artists, and just I'd come home and be like, damn, like. They were like selling hella stuff outside.
Yeah.
They were selling like merch.
Yeah.
They were selling like fucking pencils. Like, you know what I mean? Just the random shit.
Yeah. And then you pull out your calculator and do the entrepreneur math.
Yeah.
Like, if I sold like 100 and then I did 60.
So that's one thing. And my wife hates it too. Like, I'll walk in, we on vacation in Spain. I'll walk into a building and be like, all right, they spent this much. I think I could do this. Yeah. Business idea. I need a partner. Every time she's like, shut up. Drink. And so I'm always thinking numbers in business. But yeah, to go back to your original question, when I got home, the same guy that brought me the Turo idea, I brought him the clothing idea.
Oh, nice.
And was like, hey, we're making money now. I need an investor.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. I want to go to LA like twice a month because they have like one of the biggest festival things out there where you can promote clothing. And I want to do events around here, and I'm gonna start selling it after my shows, etc. And the first couple months, it does well because everyone's like, I want to support Juwan.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was like no one wants to support music.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, oh, you're just trying to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Or like, or your music stuff. And to be honest, like it took me a while to develop my actual flow. Like now I know I'm really good.
Yeah.
But probably in 2017, I could see why a lot of people were like, nah,
Yeah.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just takes a while to get that delivery. And so, I just wanted additional income. I'm all about additional income. So you got the music as the main thing. How do you make money outside of the main thing? Everyone knows merch and tours.
Yep.
Right? So I was like, okay, I could do the merch. I can't do the tours yet. Let me do the merch. And then I started Till Infinity Clothing. I started the logo, which is like the 8th note with a infinity sign in it. Got that patent because I was like, I already know people gonna want this. Every time I'd wear the hat, just like you are.
Yeah.
Wear the hat. People like, where'd you get that from?
Yeah.
Where'd you get that? Oh, it's my brand. And then you hand them a business card and they're like, oh, okay. And then no orders follow up. So it's like, I got to realize I just got to start keeping it in my backpack. You know what I mean? Like,
sell them right on the spot.
And anytime I go to like events, I still do events now just for fun.
Yeah.
Just because I really like seeing the enjoyment of people liking it on my face. So I'll go to events. I'll do it in Benicia. We got First Street. And I'll have my hats out, sold out.
Yeah.
It's like, people love the logo. So I was like, I got to patent that for sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you still running that business right now?
It's like passive, like not a lot of focus on it for sure.
Like
I have it though.
Yeah. You got the shirts and stuff like ready to go if somebody wants to buy it.
Yeah, so one of the mistakes I make, and we could talk about it, is I started way too many LLCs in the beginning. Yeah, and fucking IRS, you got to pay that $800.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and so that was a mess. And I'm talking like 5-6 businesses. And one day I sat down with a tax guy, and he was like, "This makes no sense, dude. You're spending $3,200 on LLCs, and none of the businesses are making money. What are you doing, dude?"
Yeah, for sure.
So I recently closed the LLC for Till Infinity. Last year. Yeah, I forget what year.
Everybody, here's a little lesson for you guys. All right, like you don't actually need to have an LLC to run a business. I would say make money first.
Yeah.
Right. Then open the LLC.
Yeah.
Because like exactly like what he said, that $800 starts to add up, and not to mention every LLC has to have its own. The tax person has to charge you for it.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about it.
I just paid $2,000 for an
more than your personal.
Yeah.
So you think about it. My person charging me $1,600 per LLC.
Yeah.
So it's not cheap. And then on top of it, after that, then you pay them like $1,000 something for your personal once you get all the K1s.
Yeah.
So just get the business running, make sure it makes money, and then you can open up an LLC.
Well, I'm glad you just said that transparently, because now I just had to pay my taxes, and we're on the same page. I pay $1,000 for my personal and $2,000 for the K1s.
Yeah.
So, or the S corps, and so. I mean,
cheap.
It's not cheap at all.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay the taxes.
Yeah.
We're self-employed.
Everybody wants to look cool on paper, but nobody wants to make paper. Come on. You know what I mean?
I told even till this day, I'm like, start the company first.
Yeah.
For sure.
We'll get all the other shit later. Just get the business in, and then like you want to go open an LLC, you can open that thing in like 24 hours.
Ain't nobody suing you over t-shirts, and if they do, they got more of a problem than you do.
Yeah. Hey, if they are suing you at the clothing space, you're doing something really big.
Really big.
If Nike's hitting you up, like, I'm gonna sue your ass. You'd be like, all right, bro, make more clothes.
Go get a liability insurance policy is with my tax guy. He's not even a business, well, he is a business guy, but just
tell me more about the mobile notary, because I mean, like,
well, guys. Before we get there, let's thank our sponsors.
All right,
we'll be back. We're gonna thank sponsors right now, guys.
Big shout out to ZipRecruiter. Guys, I run a lot of companies, and people always ask me, how do you find good, talented people? Well, if you don't know, ZipRecruiter is my secret weapon. Like, you can't run a good company without good people, and it all starts with where you go to look for them. ZipRecruiter, thank you so much, guys. And back to the show. This is the most important part, because I think a lot of our viewers are going to get a lot of value out of this.
Yes.
The mobile notary. How? Why? And how much? And how is the test hard? Like all that.
I just had to renew too, literally last week, and just got the acceptance back last week again. So, how? During COVID, everyone's forced at home, right? And I had actually just started my podcast the same week of COVID. So when and then it literally got shut down because my partner couldn't come. So I was recording by myself, essentially, right? And then we'd get Zoom and stuff like that. So just figuring out stuff to do. And I'm on YouTube, and honestly, I think it was just like an ad or something. Like it just popped up.
Yeah.
On the For You page, whatever it is. And the guy was talking about how you can make like $1,000 in like 15 minutes. And typically when you hear that, you're like, scam. And I'm like, and then what was interesting about this video is the guy showed his testimonials. He had his students do videos, and it was like back-to-back testimonials of Black people.
Yeah.
Saying like how they made so much money in 15 minutes or less. Yeah. I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like me. All right, cool. What the hell? I don't even know what a notary is.
It's a good ad.
It's a great ad. And he still runs them. And I was like, he's a legend, by the way. Yeah. So I looked into it. So obviously, he's pitching a course. And at that time, courses were popular. They weren't in like the scam stage yet. They were in the...
What is this?
What is this stage?
Yeah.
And but I'm always curious, so I do my due diligence, right? I go into the course. I'm like, that's way too much for a fucking course. I've told him before, like, want to say like 2,000 or more.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
And correct me if I'm wrong if you're watching this. This is my homie. So, and like my course right now is $130. Same type
I think
of shit.
$2,000's cheap, but hey, you
Yeah,
know, because
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like I see how
But
fast
why
you can
though?
make it back.
I learned, but
Yeah.
we can go on. I
Yeah,
learned
yeah.
the same shit and
Yeah.
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and my course is 130 and it has this,
I pay $130 for sure, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have been like, if that was the first ad I saw, I'm like, all right, let's do it. I would have paid $2,000.
well, here's the thing is he offered the monthly thing.
Oh,
Okay.
So, and he was the first one that I've seen do that. So I did the monthly.
Yeah.
Guess who finished it in a month?
so he so what is a notary? What does he teach you? Like how to get business, where to put your things, or like
Yeah,
where
it teaches you how to get business, how to scale the business, how to set up things. What was really cool is he had his students teach it. I'm telling you, it got
Oh, yeah,
better
yeah,
and
yeah,
better.
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
The students were teaching it, and that made me like, yo, this is dope. Like, I like this idea. I want to do this idea. And then I would reach out to the students and be like, hey, is this guy legit? This was before I bought the course.
Yeah.
I'm tech savvy, so I go on Instagram. That's why I like know half your team, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like I go on Instagram. I look to see who follows him, who took his course, and then I DM them. Hey, this guy. You know, like, is he legit? How was his course, etc. They responded like, you won't regret it.
Yeah.
So I sign up for the monthly thing on his course. I finished it, I think, like 2 weeks. Cancel the thing, get all that I need from it, and then I reach out to him. Oh, I reached out to him actually, and just had a conversation. Invited him on the podcast, just as you said.
Sure.
It's a good partnership.
Yep.
And I want to know what he's really about. I can read someone, right? And so. Yeah, that was how I started becoming a notary. Took his course and it was off to the races.
How was it getting? So you're fully committed right now at this point. So how quick did you get your first deal, and how was that process?
Good question. It was crazy timing too. This podcast great timing. So I became a notary in 2021, maybe 2020. But let's just say 2021. My first call was a call to Richmond for a living trust package. And I'm freaking out because those are the biggest packages. It's not like a one signature, one stamp.
Right,
If
right.
you mess up, you're okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, no, I got 20 documents here I have to notarize. So I'm like, fuck, what do I charge?
Yeah.
And I'm like, remember, what the course say? What the course? Anyways, charge a crazy amount because I'm like, this is my first one. I get it right.
Yeah.
Plus, I
gotta love this shit.
Yeah, I had to bring a witness, so I gotta pay the witness. Ended up bringing my brother.
Yep.
Hey, pull up. We pull up. I'm driving a beat up car at this time. Anyways, get up out the car, meet this guy, super nice. Complete the packet. It took an hour and a half. Now it takes me like 15 minutes now.
No,
Yeah.
You were probably like, well, let me make sure I don't miss a signature.
I'm checking everything.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, I like this guy.
So then business goes on. Anyways, last week I get a call and it's from the guy. And I'm like, fuck. Anytime I get a call from a recruiting class, did I mess up?
Yeah.
Did they go to file something? Is he dead now? And they're like coming back to sue me? What happened?
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I need another notary. I was like,
Wow.
Oh yeah.
anytime sweat goes away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. This address looks familiar. I pull up. I'm like, who is this guy? I don't know it's him until I get to the house.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
this front door looks familiar. I open the door. I'm like, this was my first notary.
My
Yeah.
first client.
Yeah.
Ever.
4 years ago.
Fuck.
4 years. I'm
Full
like,
circle, man.
Full circle.
What do you charge now for on average? I mean, like you said, this
Man,
trust. Like, what do
it
you charge?
depends, bro. So back then in the trust, I charged like $350. I want to say,
Yeah.
right? Pay the notary or pay the witness.
Yep.
However, the package typically for a trust package. If it's a full package, I'll do like $250.
Okay.
If it's an attorney paying, sometimes $250, $300.
Yeah.
Right. I've done it for more and I've done it for less. It just really depends on the situation. It depends if the people like.
I mean, it's really your own business, so you can charge
Yeah.
whatever you want.
It's kind of like project based.
Yes and yes, you can.
Yeah.
Obviously, for signatures, you only could charge $15 per signature.
Okay.
But it says nothing about travel. Says nothing about
Yep.
gas. Says nothing about
Yeah.
my time, my supplies, my knowledge. Like,
Yeah.
nothing
For sure.
about that.
For sure.
Right. You could read the handbook, but like. Yeah, so it just depends, man. Like some situations will be hard. The person, you got to spend time with them, 30 minutes, making sure they're coherent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that's time taken.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's how I knew, because the 21 was the best time to be a notary.
Yeah,
Because
banks were closed.
yeah, and I mean, like deals were flying.
Yeah.
And they were so backed up that they would pay like realtors or the lenders would pay expedited fees,
Oh wow.
like $1,000.
Yeah.
But the lenders don't care because they're making a boatload of money. The
Yeah.
realtors don't care because they're not paying it and they want the deal to close.
Yeah.
So, dude, I was like, these notaries were rolling up in nice cars, Beamers, Mercedes.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's making a lot. So, obviously, you cannot count those times, but on average, based on the course that you learn, what can somebody? I mean, this is for our listeners. What if they do this thing like full time? What can they expect to make?
So one, I'd never say do it full time.
Don't do it full time. Side hustle. Love it.
And I'd never say do real estate full time. Never say do podcasting full time. Never do one thing full time.
Okay.
I love that actually.
Not full time. I'd say that's your only source of income.
Okay.
Like do it full time, but like don't
shouldn't
only
consume
rely.
your whole day.
Yes. Notary is not for the faint of heart. There will be days where it's slow. There would be days where it's slow. So like it took. Like me, I'm a really go-getter. So, if it takes an average person of 12 months to set up a business, it took me 3 months.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just how I am. It's my anxiety. It's there's a bunch of shit that goes into that, right?
Yeah.
Not to just like pick myself up, but I will get it done. So I set up the business. I was number 1 in SEO in 3.5 months.
Oh, wow.
In 2021.
Really?
Anytime you look notary near me in Solano County, it's me.
Oh, nice.
So
like
that helped a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Set up the business. And do you want me to give the steps on just so you're
No, like
know?
what about like what can
I
like
want them-
expect somebody like income wise a rough year like a full year
As
of
a side
somebody
hustle.
who works hard
Can they make
like
30 grand,
similar
40
to you.
grand, 50 grand, 60 grand?
Yeah, what can they pull in, man?
So there's a lot that goes into that. Good question. So in notary, you have a general notary public, which would be like trust, just random forms, passport stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And then you have your loan signings. Me, I hate loan signings.
Yeah,
Okay.
long packets
Fucking
sometimes.
hate loan signings. Okay. And so yes, in 2021 it was great, but how many can you do a day? Because they're an hour and a half. Then you got to drive to 2 locations because you have to go to FedEx. Then you got to go back, and then you got to scan them sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yep.
So not sometimes, all the time. And then title companies mess up. They don't send you all the instructions. So then they deny it. Then they send you back out for free.
Oh.
Hate loan signings.
Yeah.
Now I do know loan signers that make $150 a year.
Okay.
But do I want to do that? Nah. I'd
Gotcha.
rather do a general notary work for a living trust packet.
Gotcha.
Or a power of attorney. I'll charge $150. Just one signature.
Yeah.
$150.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than $150 from title company.
Yeah.
That I might have mistakes on.
Yeah.
A lot more documents.
You gotta
Yeah,
go
that
chase
makes sense.
people, do all
He's giving
that.
you guys games.
He really
Look at
is.
that.
And
We got to link his course down below because that's
Yeah.
for $130, and you can make. I mean, honestly,
And you get a free consultation
If
with
this is your side hustle,
Yeah.
because
It's great.
People always ask me like, "Yo, what can I do?" I'm like, "Well, okay, if you can book a signing like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. after work, make an extra $150 a day.
Go buy some in and out
Say
after.
you do 3 days a week.
Yeah.
You know, that's $450 times that by 4 weeks. Like you're making an extra 2 G's. Like
I mean,
1,800,
for
2 Gs.
sure. I mean,
I'd do it.
there's so much value in here, man. I mean, there's so many different ways. I mean, I'm even like, piqued my interest. I'm like, oh shit, I could just, do your
side
course
hustle,
and I could just write.
If you do it right, your side hustle can buy a property in Montgomery, Alabama.
There you go.
Like it won't buy you. We're in California right here. Down payment's probably like 200.
it bought me my first property.
Wow.
Tell me
There you go.
In the first year.
what did you
And
buy?
as we're on this, as
Yeah.
we're talking about this, I just got 3 calls for notary. So
I did see you like reaching
literally
out.
3 calls
costing him money right now to
from
be on
2
this podcast.
different notary businesses because
Yeah.
I have multiple, right? So
Yeah.
this cause that's funny. That's funny. But
I appreciate you, man. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Him not picking up the phone is he's walking away with losing money. Potentially.
Yeah.
they might call somebody else.
they will.
So I-
Yeah.
No, they just called my other business.
Oh, okay.
It was back to back.
Yeah.
So I have multiple Google businesses,
Yeah.
right? So no, I think I want to make it clear, like I have always on my social media pitched that I hate loan signings. That's how I blew up on like TikTok and stuff like that. I hate loan signings. And people are like, well, if you're not doing loan signings, how are you making money? Well, I do general notary work. Well, I thought general notary work doesn't make money. Okay, well, like you put in the time up front, you build your businesses, become SEO certified, all that. It makes money.
Yeah.
For little time. I'd
Yeah.
rather make $1,000 extra a week
Yep.
for a total of, I've done the math, like 100 or not 100, an hour and 30 minutes total in that whole week.
Yeah. Shit.
For $1,000?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? That's $3,000 a month.
Why not?
4,000. You're making.
Oh, yeah,
like
my
you're
bad,
making
man.
4. That's
Bad
4.
math.
That's
Yeah.
4,000. There's 52 weeks. You do the math.
Back in the day, just to give some
Well, I'm sorry,
perspective.
12 months. So you
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about like $50,000, just about
Yeah,
48,000, 50,000.
And that's only general notary work. I do fingerprinting.
Yeah.
I do
Oh.
live scan. I remember and you do this with real estate too, you'll know and stuff, but we're on vacation. It's not vacation.
Yeah.
So my wife hates it. So I'm in
sure.
the pool in Vegas, music's going crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, did they I'm like, hey, I need a notary. Cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got like John to do it. All right, I'll set that appointment up and then I'll take a cut off the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Dude, love it. See?
That's the hustle, man. But let's talk about this first property, man. Like what?
Yeah, because
why did you?
What'd you buy?
Yeah, why did you even get into it too?
Why did I? Oh, so back in 2020 when I had my job with Coca-Cola, I was looking to invest. Obviously,
Oh, okay. So the seed was there.
Real estate and stocks were the thing after college, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
So,
heard that. Yeah.
Yep. And so I was looking to invest in both. I was doing stocks, and I was like, I don't have real estate. So I grabbed two friends and was like, look, I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of the Bigger Pockets books.
Yeah.
Real estate's where we got to go. And COVID's picking up. A lot of people are going to tell you not to buy right now with low interest rates and high purchase prices and stuff like that. And I was like, fuck it. We're going to go against the grain. We're going to buy. So I got two other friends. We saved up some money, and we were looking at properties in Woodland. At that time, 3-bedroom, 2-bath was like $250.
Where's Woodland?
Woodlands by UC Davis.
Okay.
I was looking at
California.
college areas so that I can turn into student housing.
For sure.
And now a 3-bedroom, 2-bath out there is $450 minimum.
There you go. Look at that.
In what, 5 years, right? 4 years.
$200,000 in equity.
Yeah.
Chilling.
So, and I fucked up because, well, I didn't fuck up. I lost my job. So that money that I had and having a new kid, I'm in dad panic mode.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, okay, well, I can't go buy a property. Like, I wouldn't even do my family any justice. So I told them, and they were like, okay, well, we're still gonna buy a property. And I was like, that's fine, that's cool. And so they ended up buying in Stockton, which was our second place we were looking at, and they ended up buying, and I sat back on the sidelines, got into real estate and notary, started building my income and business again. And then full circle, I ended up buying in a couple years later when I had the money saved up again in Stockton. Wow. And they ended up selling with a $80,000 profit in 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Like,
Money.
straight money.
Right.
Yeah. So had I just took the risk, I probably could have made some.
Yeah.
But
You don't
At
look
least,
back.
yeah, you can at least saw it unfold. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
Now I
which is
know it
good.
works.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now I know it works. So,
It's always that. You just got to know. The first deal, I always tell people, you got to just pull the trigger.
yeah.
It's the scariest one, but then it's like proof of concept. After that, you know that it works, and you get hooked. And you're like, okay, it's just numbers.
Yep.
And you kind of know what you're doing. It's not scary anymore.
Yeah.
But tell me about the kids, man. Because you are, when I sit next to you, I'm like, you're a go, go, go.
Yeah.
Did the kid help you or hurt you?
Good question. I'd say it put a fire under me because
Bigger fire? You already fired up.
Yeah.
It's too hot, man. Too hot.
You know what? This is gonna be like, this is weird because it almost made me take more risk but be conservative at the same time. I don't like, you might understand it because you're a dad. Are you a dad?
I'm just a dad with no
He
kids.
shoots blanks.
He's a cat dad, cat lover. Nah, all right. So like, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but like, it makes me take more risk in terms of building an empire for the kids. Like, had I not had kids, I probably would have still been working at Coke or something similar and not took the risk with real estate.
Really?
I probably would have like invested less in stocks and partied more.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, yes, I'm taking more risks with investing in stocks, but I'm also being more conservative in my future is what I mean.
I can see that.
So
I can
like
see that.
that, to answer your question, it did put a fire under me because now I'm all about making money for the future.
Yeah.
As opposed to like,
I
I
take
have
a
to
moment.
force
You
myself.
gotta take a moment for that. I want to dive deeper into that because that's the first time I've actually heard a parent describe it that way. More normally, it's more like, oh well, now I have to be responsible. I gotta, and I guess that's what it is. Like I gotta be responsible.
For
but
sure.
I think, and I don't care. I tell my wife this stuff all the time. I'm like, and I tell you guys all the time. The kids slowed me down.
Yeah.
The kids slowed me down because I was already fired up. I was already buying stuff.
Yeah.
And then now all of a sudden I got a $5,000 a month between two kids, like their school.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, then there's their vacations. I'm no longer just buying for me and my wife. I got to buy for 2 kids.
Yeah.
Everything just gets more expensive. So I'm like, damn. And in my mind, I'm like, that could have went into more investments because I don't really care. I'm like you. I don't wear Gucci. I'll buy some nice watches, but everything I buy is always an investment. I don't pay markups, and I always make sure I got equity in anything because everything is for sale. You know that.
Yeah.
I sell shit like, hey, you want to offer me 50-something thousand on a watch that I paid 30 for? Take it. You know, like, I don't care. I'll buy another one, but because that's how my mind is geared. I'm like money, like enjoy life a little bit and have the finer things. But I'm always
I like
I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
because my thing is, especially ever since I started buying in Alabama, it's so cheap. Like here, it's like, you know, average property, 1.5 million. So you got to put down like 20%. You're talking about like 400,000, whatever. Longer to save up. Now it's like, damn, I only need $38,000 to invest in Alabama.
Yeah.
Right, and that's about a property that's worth $120,000, and it'll cash flow me about $400 to $500 a month.
Yeah.
So now what I've been doing, they know, is every time I got $40,000, I buy one.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
One.
I have
Yeah.
$40,000 sitting in the bank right now with a partner. We're looking to buy an Indy. So that
Yeah.
40,000
Yeah.
is very
Yeah. Powerful.
It's typically 30 to 40 depending on where.
You want some buffer.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
with the high interest rate, if you put 40, you get the lower. You get the
that's
cash
what we're
flow.
doing.
So that's exactly. And we literally, I just reached out to my realtor like 2 days ago. I was like, I want these two. She's like, let's think about it.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I pay my
risk.
daughter's school. I'm like, damn, that's a property right there. I could have bought 1.5.
Yeah.
My son's 6, so
I mean,
for the last 1.5 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, like I could have bought 1.5. So 6 years times 1.5. Like you do the math on that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
dude, I could have had like 7 more properties in my portfolio.
That's
It's
funny.
okay. We don't look back. We don't look back.
I'm just joking. I'm
We
just
just
joking.
said
But
that.
that's where I'm coming from. When I'm like, oh, you could be like your kids made you more
No.
successful. I'm like, nah.
I mean, you guys are both. You guys are both saying
but now
honest
it's-
answers.
but
They're
now
true.
it's like,
They're
hey,
all true.
But I think the goal is be responsible with your money and invest for the future.
And become who you need to
Yeah.
become. That's kind of what I took from
say
him.
I'm
you know?
with you as far as they slowed me down because I for sure would go like crazy.
You're probably
right
working
now.
less too. You're probably like, 6
Exactly.
o'clock,
You had
5
to,
o'clock,
bro.
You gotta be home.
Exactly. Well, he's in every freaking sport known to man. So
Yeah.
like I have to block those days out.
Yeah.
Saturday mornings, I'm full dad mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not doing open houses at 11 anymore. I'm doing them at 2.
Yeah.
Right. So, yes, I agree with that. And it's funny because like now I'm seeing like I was raised with a single mom.
Yeah.
And I have my wife and I'm
Yeah.
like, how the fuck did she
I don't-
do
yeah,
that shit?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
Bro, like I'm freaking out. My wife is freaking out.
Yeah.
And it's us.
Yeah.
And we're over here like, hey, take the kids for two hours.
Yeah.
Like, let me do my thing, right? We share the same offer. So it just seeing that and then seeing my kids grow up, I'm just like, much respect to
Yeah.
the single moms.
Much
Or
respect.
single
Dad,
dads out there.
too.
Yeah,
Hey.
so for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Like, you got to do this for yourself. Every day is chaotic.
Every day.
Let me ask a question. I want to ask both you guys though, but like, what is your best advice for like new parents who are trying to, build an empire, build a business? Like, what are some things that helped you through this process?
Well, all right. Building an empire, it's my empire. It's not theirs.
Yeah.
That's I'm going to make it very clear.
Yeah.
I'm building my empire.
Yeah.
They got to build theirs. Now, I'm not going to not help them, but I'm not going to give them like anything because I've learned this from, I love asking rich, successful dads that have good kids, not bad kids. I don't want no bad kids. I look at the kids and I look at the parents. I'm like, yo, what do you do differently? And they said, I let my kids make mistakes.
Yeah.
I let my kids go and try and fail because if you try to save them every single time, you're actually hurting them heavy.
Yeah.
And then I look back at my life and I'm like, that's true. I didn't have anybody to save me.
Yeah.
So every mistake I made, I got back up because I knew that there's nobody going to save me. Nobody's going to pick me up.
Yeah.
But also it taught me resilience and the fact that I should not make that same mistake twice.
Yeah.
But when you don't, the problem is when you don't let them feel that pain of failure,
Yeah.
they do it again and they do it again.
Yeah.
And then it's like, dude, they don't go anywhere. So that's my advice.
That's why I hate gentle parenting.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
I hate
Wait.
that shit. Whoever lady blew that up on TikTok in 2020.
Yeah,
that
no,
needs
we're not
to go.
doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's weak. Yeah, that's weak, man.
Yeah.
What about you, man? What do you think?
I don't. Repeat the question again.
Well, my question, I mean, answer it however you want, but my question is like, what is your best advice to like new parents who want to, build something like, business, entrepreneurship,
have kids.
empire, right? And kids. And what are some advice that helps throughout that process? Because it must be a little bit hard in the beginning, right?
For sure, and I think it's always going to be hard. So that was one thing. I had a kid. I don't know how old you are, but when we found out we were pregnant, I was 23 and a half.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So fresh out of college,
Yeah.
I just got
Yeah.
done drinking a lot. With,
sure.
you know what I mean? So like, this is a huge wake up call. Lost my job at the same time. Huge wake up. So for me, it was about routine. During COVID, when I was unemployed, new kid, I would wake up at 4 a.m., get whatever I need to do out, and a lot of anger built up, a lot of stuff, and just and then go about my day, and then had the kids stop doing that because you need sleep. That's important. And so me, it's routine. I live by my calendar. Like everything is on my calendar, and my wife is invited to everything because if we're not aligning on that, like Like, I need to know that this time is blocked out for me
Yeah.
and that she's taking care of the kids right now and I'm good,
Yeah.
right? And so for me, routine and calendar is like for anybody looking to get in a business, really anybody having a kid with a partner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely should.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
No, it's funny because like everything you said is exactly what I've heard Brian says. You go up, wake up, 4 a.m., hit the gym, get everything done, me time,
Yeah.
come back home, share calendars with my wife.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier,
So
right?
I do have I hate seeing I hate bad. That's why I started Misguided. I hate bad social media stuff.
Yeah.
Where it's just like clickbait. So like, yes, I agree. People should wake up at 4 a.m. You're an entrepreneur and stuff like that. But like, I also agree sleep is very important.
Oh,
and so
100%.
if my kid wakes up at 2 a.m., I'm not waking up at fucking 4 a.m. Like
Yeah.
there's just no like
sure.
be an adult. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need to go on here and
agree.
lie
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I wake up at 4 a.m. I haven't woke up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
in a very long time.
Yeah.
Probably since COVID. One, I haven't been that stressed out, right? Two, like the kid's schedule, I need sleep, like, and now I like to stay up late and watch TV shows because
sure.
that's my me time.
Yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So
Same.
like, yeah,
So I'm just flipped.
Yeah.
I try to sleep earlier. Well, early is like 10:30, but I'm up at 4.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah.
my time.
Yeah.
And
See-
I'm like, I'm at the gym. So it's like,
So I go through phases,
Yeah.
bro. Like
Yeah.
it'll be like a month where I'll do that, and
Yeah.
then it'll be the other month where and I think it's just me knowing my body of like that day, what
it
type
needs
of
rest.
day.
Sometimes
yeah.
your body needs rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
So I'll take time off. I don't take days off.
Yeah, nah, man, I like that.
I like
That
that.
was a very
Time
important
can be
piece.
sometimes a couple days too, but you know.
Yeah, I think that was a good piece about like routine because like your routine is supposed to be built around what your life like needs of you, right?
Yeah.
Again, like you said, if you don't need to wake up, why? But if the only time you can work out because you have kids is 4 to like 6 a.m., then you have to do it. Your world is telling you have to do that, or it's just not gonna get done. You know what I mean?
that's right. My schedule now is just random, but I now because kids go to like school.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when they're at school, I'm working out, and because now I know like a lot of escrow and just a lot of real estate stuff doesn't really happen until later in the day.
Yeah.
So I used to like spend my time doing all that stuff in the morning. Now I just work out in the morning, get what I need to be done because escrow's not emailing me until like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So like, yeah, I'd handle all that stuff before. But
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, well, I have to pack my morning meetings because all these guys.
yeah.
So I'm like, damn, I got like, cause they're like 9 a.m. I'm like already here. I'm like, and then I drop off my son at 8:30. So I'm like, there's not enough time to
There's
go to
not-
the gym.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why I have to go early. But do what works for you guys. It's on you.
I like that.
Back to the like this stuff. You got a podcast. I want to talk about that because I mean it's going strong. The Misguided podcast. I want to shout you out. Tell us a little bit about what that is and why you're doing it.
Yeah, I started that, like I said, first week of COVID, and pretty much just started that because I kept seeing all the clips. Everyone was just back on TikTok and stuff. TikTok was blowing up.
Yeah.
It took me a while to get on TikTok, by the way. My niece was the one who showed it to us, and I don't want to give her credit on here, but she
the same
showed.
way.
Yeah, she showed us, and it took a year.
Yeah.
I didn't get on TikTok till like end of 2020, maybe 2021.
I was against it too. I
Yeah.
was like, nah. I was
Yeah.
like, Brian, I don't want to go on there, bro.
Got on it, I was addicted. I said, "Oh shit!"
Now I get it.
Yeah.
I get it now.
I just like the clout, bro.
I was like, I love it. So then I just kept seeing like the stuff. Like I said, when I got the notary course, it was before it became a scam. Then I started seeing the scams take off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is bad. So then I came up with Misguided. Like, let's not lead them in the wrong way because I had started at that point 3 businesses, but only one was successful.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, people want to hear this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why? And so, I started Misguided podcast. It's not like crazy. Like, I don't have that many following. Like,
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter,
You know
man.
what the cool thing is? You know
Yeah.
why I do this? One day our sons and our daughters and stuff, we're gonna be able to watch everything.
for sure.
The whole
Yeah.
our thought
That's
process.
why I do music.
Is all
Yeah.
documented right
sure.
here.
Yeah.
And so if anything, I'm doing it more for them. If anything happens for me, I had a death scare last year, so I already knew. I'm like, they got enough content to know
Yeah.
who their dad is.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, shoot, I've been filming with him for 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's 3 years. There's like 10 terabytes of videos that my kids can watch if anything happens to
I
me.
mean,
But
I even like watching it, bro. It's funny. It's cool as
Well, you know
fuck
what's
to like
even
look
crazy
back.
too
You
to think
know?
about that is like you really don't know who your dad is because you don't have these conversations. You like podcast
true,
wasn't
bro.
a thing back then.
Fuck,
You
yeah.
only know him as your dad, but you don't know him as I don't know his name.
No.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean?
You don't know what kind of jokes he cracks with his
Nah.
boys, bro. Say some
and my
crazy
dad passed
vulgar
away
shit.
when I was like, 18, 19. So I wasn't mature enough to know
That's
so
what I'm
much
saying.
about him.
Yeah.
So at least one day, Benji, Brooklyn, you guys watching me, this is your dad. You know what I mean? Like, this is me. Yeah. No, so I
Dude.
mean, like, and that leads me to the next thing. Like, you have you have actually 3 books here, but I only got 2. The Notary Guide, How to Build a Mobile Notary Business, and then also Money Talks, The Beginner's Guide to Investing for Kids. Why?
Yeah.
How?
Good
You
question. Yeah, I don't even know. COVID, man. When you're bored in the house, you're bored in the house.
Dude,
right?
you were cooking during COVID, bro.
Bored in
Like,
the house,
shit.
and I'm in the house bored.
That's exactly what I was referencing. Thank you.
You guys are helping.
Oh, that's crazy.
Thank you. But nah, just like it's cool though to see like all the stuff I was doing in COVID is like flourishing now.
Yeah.
And that was
Beautiful,
4 or
man.
5 years ago. So
Yeah.
that's really fucking cool. And it just shows the audience it takes time.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, dude.
Because I was locked door,
Yeah.
like dark room, typing a book.
Yeah.
Right? Like so anyways.
And you wrote it, not Chat GPT. No,
I don't think there was ChatGPT
It
at that
wasn't-
time.
there wasn't
bro.
at that time.
no, I'm just joking.
But
I know.
I did have ghostwriters edit and
No, you need to.
for sure.
I would need
sure.
to go.
Look at the way I talk. You think I could write a book?
No.
Fuck no.
I'm a speaker. I always tell people I'm a speaker, not a writer. So if my email's all jacked up, it's because I write the way I speak.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like there's
Yeah.
no commas.
Yeah.
There's a period every now and again. That's it. You know.
I'm a public speaker, so I do
Yeah.
like stuff at high schools and stuff, and that's how I'm the same way.
Yeah.
My email is gonna look how I talk.
So this book though, I have a feeling
Which
Money
one?
Talks is for your kid.
You
wrote it. You wrote it because of your kids.
That was because I knew I was having kids, and I was like, man, I made a lot of money mistakes. There were some things that like I invested in, like weed companies when
Yeah.
they told us to invest, and now look at that shit. Tilray sucks, right?
Yeah.
Like hasn't grown in 5 years, and that was an example. But then I also invested in stuff that did well, and it's like, you know, I hear stories of my friends where, hey, you know, my pops invested in this for me, and now I have a college. That's how we pay college tuition. I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I had to get a full ride. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, so just hearing these things, I'm like, okay, how can I let people know?
Yeah.
I was like, a book.
Yeah.
Everyone still reads.
Yeah,
That's not
for
going
sure.
away.
Yeah.
ChatGPT is now dissecting the books and stuff. You got Audibles. I was super into Audibles.
Yeah.
Right. So, like that was a thing. And I even on Money Talks, on the Notary Guide, I did my own Audible.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I want my kids to hear my voice.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now when something happens, the kids can go read that, and you can become a notary at 18.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
who's to say they can't?
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
And so that was huge for me. So I did the Money Talks first. And I did way better than I thought. Like I said, people don't want to hear you rap, but they want to support you.
Yeah.
Right. And so I didn't get a lot of audience for rap music, but I got a lot, well, here in the Bay. It was more like overseas. But when I released my book, everybody wanted to support.
That's what's
I
up.
was
man.
like, whoa.
They wanted to be like, I read.
Yeah.
I read.
it was cool to see the difference. And so I was like, damn, I got some people behind me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And then
awesome, man.
It released as like #1 on Amazon. So I was
What's
No way, really?
I want to ask you.
Fuck,
That's the,
dude, number one on Amazon, bro.
That's sick.
Yeah. I got like a couple of, I got an interview on TV and stuff.
What?
And then because I knew the formula, I started releasing the other book. So that's when the Notary Guide came, and that released #1 as well.
That's cool.
And so you just flip it.
That's cool. That's cool as
good.
fuck,
Yeah.
dude. What the hell?
Camera's good.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
Mentally counting, bro.
All right. Well, give us a synopsis. What's the biggest money mistake you think people make?
Car fucking notes, man.
Yeah,
Car
man.
notes. I know that's said
Hey,
so many
hey.
times on.
He saved
I
me,
got
bro.
a story. Go ahead. What's the car notes? Tell
Well, right now
yeah.
it's weird because I'm. It's weird because I'm trying to, taxes kills us
Yeah,
as
yeah.
entrepreneurs.
So you can get a car.
My tax guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
My
can get a
tax
car.
guy. So I was like, hey man, family needs an Escalade. Can I go buy an Escalade December 31st right now? Like,
Yeah.
let me know.
Yeah.
So I was about to go buy an Escalade, and you know how much Escalades are, right? I'm
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
He's like, bro, that's not you. They changed the laws. Don't do that.
Only
He's like,
60% bonus depreciation.
right, and it used to be 100 before the new stuff. So
Yep.
he was like, lease right now.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
oh shit. Lease.
Yeah.
I thought that was bad. Everyone talks about it's bad.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, but you're a business owner. You can write off 100%. So let me do some
Yes.
math real quick.
Yeah. And you have more liquid now.
So now I'm like, okay, I want a Rivian. So
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, where can I go get a Rivian right now?
Yeah.
And so I say card note's a bad thing, but it really just depends on where you are in life.
Exactly. It's the understanding what chapter you are in life.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build your nest egg and build the beginning, like, and you need funds obviously to start businesses and actually live.
Hell yeah.
Don't get a car note.
No.
I don't know if there's probably in the early podcast I was ripping on PJ. He was like, I think I'm gonna go get a Tesla. I said there's 2 reasons you shouldn't get a Tesla. But the main one, the second one I won't say. But the main one was like, that's a stupid, like you have a paid off car. Where are you going? You're literally going from your house to the office. You already have a girlfriend, so you don't need a car to take her on dates and stuff. She already loves you and you're beat her. So I'm like, what do you need the car for?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you need a $600, $700? And on top of it, registration's more, insurance is more because it's a new car.
Yeah.
And I told him, don't do it.
Yeah. No, I have the same shit. Like
Saved me.
Yeah.
He saved me.
I had I had the car business, so at one point I had seven cars, maybe 6. And 6 cars. And there was a lot of car notes. Some paid off, and then you start learning over time. And then I'd go buy a credit card just full cash, or a credit card, a car. But I still have my first car, which is a 1995 Toyota Camry, which I got my wife in. So, and she's like, tells me to get rid of that shit every day, and I'm like, no, this is like monumental. Like,
I'm
like,
this car.
I picked you up in this. I did my notaries in this.
Yeah.
I did my real estate in this. Like, no, I'm keeping it.
Yeah.
And plus Toyotas, the shit was $1,500. I got it for. It's still worth
It's probably
$1,500.
It's probably worth $3,000 now.
Yeah, but and the parts are $200. So I'm like, I'm keeping that shit.
Like, yo, we're gonna renew our vows in here.
Yeah.
So, you juggle multiple businesses right now. You got the real estate, you got the mobile notary. How do you manage?
Schedule that calendar, man. Like I said, the calendar. Mia reached out weeks ago, and this was on the calendar. And when I have it on the calendar, I stick by it. And then it's just that's kind of how I manage.
I want to know.
I'm gonna dive deeper though,
Go.
because now it's like, it's on your schedule, but how do you know how much time to put into this business and then that business?
Good question. So one of the things I learned, that's one of the mistakes I learned was, when you first start business, everyone's like, I'm gonna do it all. And that was me, dude.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm gonna carry the.
I'm a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
People don't know me, so they can't tell me how I work. Like a lot of you hear in like the audio books and the podcasts and interviews that old timers who got money, they're like, you got to focus on one thing. For me, I was like, nah, fuck that old dude. That was like 30 years ago. I'm doing everything. Nah, they right. They right.
I was gonna say they're right.
Yeah, they right. So I learned that about 2 years ago. I was doing everything. Tax guy was like, why the fuck do you have 5 LLCs? Only one of them's really doing good. Let's come down here, man.
Friend.
Man, I had to fire the last tax boy person. So
the last guy was just like, they're great, bro. Here's $6,000.
So no, the last tax person I had would got me refunds. Now my new person is like how to save and like where to put the money, right? And so that it's more strategic in the beginning of the year. And I like that. And so to answer your question, I learned to really just get down to the niche. So my 2 main businesses right now, everything else is passive. It's still there. Car business, run it out of my house. I don't run it out of a lot now or whatever you want to say, right? So that's why it's slower, the car business, and because bad TikTok people joined the platform.
And started selling courses.
And I started facts. And so same thing with Airbnb. I've had multiple Airbnbs across the country. Now I have one. I just closed one 2 months ago.
Just keep the ones that are working.
Just keep the ones that are working. And so to answer that is like now is real estate and notary. Those are my 2 main businesses, and I've had my best year as far as gross income and net income, which is a first. Like before, it was like, okay, you made a lot of money, but your tax shows you
problem
minus.
Is that people don't know, because then you're like floating, you're losing money here, you're losing money there, and it's like, damn, that's just better to just do less. Less headache, less liabilities.
I still have credit card debt from on the business. Now my personal credit score is great and everything, but like my credit card debt from businesses I started like 4 years ago is still there, and I closed those LLCs 2 years ago. Right, and so now my new businesses that are doing fucking well are paying for the old bad mistakes, right? But I call that lessons and courses. Right. Those are courses. So to answer your question, it's just you got to niche down. I found my niches. Investors. I work with a lot of investors, and I work with first-time home buyers. And so that's my bread and butter in real estate.
And that's how we got to know each other, actually, because you were sending deals to us. I like that.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot. I know this because a lot of people have this, but what was a key business lesson you learned the hard way?
Key business lesson, I want to say,
and you can even say learning, like running multiple businesses, but I want more.
That is more. Key business, money management, man, money management, and saving for rainy days would be one of them, because I had when you're making a lot of money like that, and you're like, oh, you can write this off, you can write this off, you know what I mean? You're putting yourself in a position, one, to be questioned by the IRS, but two, that like you're not managing the money well, and it's going in different places, and you're not knowing where it's going. For example, just because I could write off a trip, I'm taking trips to Vegas now.
Yeah.
Why do I need a trip to Vegas?
I think people make that mistake. It's a write-off.
Yeah,
it's a write-off.
no,
Let me
it's
go
like-
buy a car. Oh, it's a write-off.
Yeah.
This fancy dinner. I'm like, you're still paying for it.
You're still paying for it.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that. And then that's when you get the refunds. And it's like, okay, well, actually getting the refunds really not that's not good for us as a
Bad
as a
for
business.
real estate because you can't get loans. Well, you can get DSCR loans. You can get creative financing loans. But for the average listener, the more you write off, the less income you have. For you to go get a conventional loan, it's going to be a lot harder.
So,
Yeah.
to piggyback off that, when I first bought my first property in 2021, December, I closed 2 days before Christmas in Stockton. Everyone was screaming, don't buy. Yeah, and my interest rate's 3.5%. You think I'm selling that thing? No.
It's cash flowing like crazy right now.
Not Airbnb it.
Oh, okay, even better.
Well, yeah. So we got some things to talk about, but like I said, we got some things to talk about. But I bought it 2 days before Christmas. Christmas comes, water heater breaks. That's $2,000 down. Right. So you're learning these things as you go. But my number one advice is get started because, like I said, I waited a year to get into real estate for good reasons.
Yeah.
And had I not waited, I would have learned all those mistakes up front. Now that was 2021. And now everything I'm seeing is like, oh, I should have did that differently, or I could have did that differently when I bought the property, right?
But you only know if you got your skin in the game.
Yes, and that's why lenders need skin in the game.
Yeah.
But one of the things I realized was when I went to go get pre-approved, I was like, oh, I make some good money now. I was salary at that time with Fly Homes.
Yeah.
And they were throwing money because they're startup, right? So I was like, I'll make some good money. I'll afford a home.
Yeah.
Went to go get pre-approved. And she's like, we need your 2 tax returns. Well, because I had 6 businesses and a car rental business, my tax return said I made a lot, but then I actually made minus. Right? So,
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, fuck. She's like, yeah, you need a cosigner or you're going to buy a mobile home. So, okay, well, that's not an option.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah,
You're making me mad.
What did you end up doing? Getting a DSCR loan or a stated income loan?
So I didn't know about that at that time.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't think I did. So I had to get a partner. And yeah, we're in the deal right now, and getting a partner, there's different things like I give you some other examples, not this specific one, but other examples with partners is, okay, I have really good credit, but my partner doesn't, but they got the money.
Yeah.
But whose credit are they going to take? If you don't know, they don't take a middle. They take the bottom. So if you have 800 and your partner has, 650, they're taking 650.
Yep.
So what does that affect? Your mortgage, your interest, right? And so if I partner with some other people on higher deals, guess what? Our mortgage is higher. And now the numbers that I ran in the deal, they don't work, right? So you learn that as you go, right?
Yeah, because the lower your credit, the more interest they charge you.
Yeah.
And then you know how that works. Now your debt is higher, the monthly payment's higher. That screws up the cash flow.
Yeah. So, that was just piggybacking off your stuff right there.
That's sick, man. Well, hey, it didn't matter because you got creative, and I think most people would have been like, in that situation, they would have been like, you know what? Okay, not my time.
Not for me.
You gotta. You know what? I'm not opposed to partnerships.
No.
Hell, half my companies are owned with partners.
Yeah,
you need them.
You need them.
You can't run multiple things without partners. But I will say you have to vet your partners very well, and you have to almost like a marriage counsel. Like you have to. You're gonna be stuck with them like your wife.
Yeah.
So make sure that they have the same morals, the same integrity, the same outlook. I mean, just as similar as possible when it comes to values. Everything else, you still want to have separate strengths and weaknesses because that's kind of how you're gonna make a real strong company.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've done a lot, and I've had bad partnerships, and I've had great partnerships. More great than bad. So.
So I'm actually,
it works.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback off that too because I don't think we mentioned it, but one of the businesses I'm a part owner of is a co-working space.
Oh wow, shoot,
that's sick.
Yeah, shout out to Green Hive Spaces. We got a couple locations in Solano County, Vallejo, Fairfield, Vacaville, and we're expanding to SAC. So. Anyways, I say all that to say, I'm director of operations. It's really just 2 of us right now. We do have a media person or a marketing person, but it's just 2 of us right now. And I actually met them, bringing them on my podcast. And like you say, you get to fill them out, and we just vibed. You feel it in the gut. right?
Yeah.
You feel that, and then it's like, oh shit. And then months went on, calls me up, hey man, like you know a lot about business, like how, and I need some help. And I was like, okay, cool. He's like, you want to be my director of operations, and you own part of the company? And I was like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Because at that time I was looking to buy co-working spots, which is why I brought him on the podcast, because I wanted to learn. I was actively looking on Biz by Sell in negotiations with the place in Walnut Creek that recently closed, and brought him on deal and was like, hey, let's go buy this together. Numbers didn't work, but
how does that work out? I mean, I figured it'd be really good in Solano County because there's no WeWork.
It's great.
There's no big companies because they're not going to go out there.
It's great, which is why I've been trying to tell him that we should leave, but he don't want to leave Solano County. Not leave, but we should expand. I want to go to.
Yeah.
So we serve underserved communities. So I'm trying to stay out of San Francisco. Okay.
You don't want to, saturated.
But our model differs in WeWork. I could talk about this off camera. I don't know. So our model.
You meant promote it. I like it.
No, I don't want the business model.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nitty gritty.
Brad is like, so yes, Solano County's been great because there is nothing like that out there. The communities are tight. Vallejo is a very tight community. So is Fairfield. Sassoon is very small. And you got a lot of business owners out there that can't afford here.
Yeah.
And during COVID, it was fucking traffic. It took me 2 hours to get here.
Yeah.
You think I want to drive that every day just to go to the office?
Yeah,
no.
sure.
So who do we contact? All right, let's contact Microsoft. Let's contact, what's the scale? Salesforce, right? Let's contact.
Hella smart.
Yeah. So because their people live out there because they can't afford here because y'all not paying them enough.
Yeah.
So that's where the
genius.
Straight like solution oriented, man. Just
Yeah.
freaking bulletproof structure of entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? Solve a problem.
You learned though. You
solve
learned.
a problem.
Like we made some mistakes there and stuff like that, but we got some sponsors now that's been helping us out.
How do you handle
Love it,
mistakes? When you make a mistake, what's your thought process around
I
it?
cry a little bit inside first, and then
me too.
Yeah.
Not outside.
It's just inside, right?
Me man. No cry.
Take a bit of Tums, and then that's a good question. How do I handle mistakes? Oh, I'm a very solution. Like I need a solution, and sometimes my wife hates it, but like I don't deal with the emotion right there. So like, all right, you come to me with, like, even my wife will come to me with a problem, and it's like, okay, what do I need to do right now to fix it?
Yeah.
Like, no, right now. Like, we're not gonna leave.
Yeah.
What do I do right now to fix it? And if I don't do this right now, and continuously over, then that's on me. But give me the homework.
Yeah.
And so with a business, if there's a problem in the business, right, then I'm handling it like right away. So I'm trying to think of examples.
I think you nailed it right in the head. You handle it right away.
Right away. Yeah.
Like don't sweep it under the rug. It does not go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does for me now, but I got people for that. All right, like it's different.
But how
There's
long
levels
have you
to
been
this.
in business? Like
I mean, I've been doing it for about 10 years.
Yeah, so
like
I'm
legitimately, like when I out of college, like I had side hustles, cutting hair and stuff like that. But like business, 10 years, and I learned that you need to build up leaders to handle the problems.
For sure.
And then now it's just like my children. I have to let them come up with the solutions, and I just sit back and listen to it. And then maybe if they really don't have a good solution, maybe I'll help them a little bit more.
sure.
But the problems do get handled by other people now, most of them.
Yeah.
I got the Brandon 5000 right outside.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
He
ready to
handles
kick
a
some
lot
ass.
of it. Ray Louvet outside, they handle a lot of the flipping. But every
Yeah.
company has that problem solver. But in the beginning, guys, don't lag, don't delay. Do what Juwan does. Think of a solution. But also with me, if I have a problem, like I usually bring solutions to the table. I'm like, hey, and then my thing is asking for advice. Like, is this one the best or this one's the best? What do you think we should do?
Yeah.
And that's what it is.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's not just like, oh my God, what happened? And then just bitch and cry all day. And then all you're doing is just making the whole environment all fucked up.
100%, man. Yo, dude, honestly, guys, it's been a super fire podcast. Juwan, I just want to say thank you for everything, man. Like, you're an inspiration, man, hustler, go-getter, man, and you have a great head on your shoulders, bro. We're going to wrap it up here. I just want to ask you, man, to the young hustler, man, new in the journey, man, who wants everything in life, bro. What is your best advice to them to achieving that success, man?
Be okay with mistakes. Embrace them, actually. There's a lot of misguided information out there. Do your own research and your own due diligence. And like you said, with the partnerships, you just gotta be active, proactive, in business in general. And everyone's not a business owner, man. So like, and that's okay. Like if you're a W-2, you know, I wouldn't. If someone offered me $500K today, I'm going back W-2.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like I'm gonna just do business on the side.
Yeah,
like,
I'm buying hella properties.
Yeah,
you know,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
like it's okay. It's okay. Everything's not for everyone. So find your niche.
There you go.
Which is what helped me tremendously. And be okay with it. And yeah, social media can sometimes be dangerous. I know we finna blast hella clips, but social media can sometimes be dangerous. So you have to have that gut of when to know the difference.
Yeah, but that's why, you know, with your podcast and everything, helping out the new generation, leading the way. Hey, man.
Let them know where to find you. What's your Instagram? What's your TikTok?
Yeah. Instagram is, and pretty much everything is Juwan Rohan Music. I know I'm a realtor and everything now, but I have people like, when are you going to change it? But it's Juwan Rohan Music because I like when people find me for other reasons, but then be like, oh, he does music.
Spark the topic.
And then it sparks the topic. So I keep that as that. And then on the Misguided Podcast on pretty much everywhere, YouTube, everything. So I appreciate it.
Sick, guys. Well, I hope you guys got a lot of values, a lot of gems. For anyone listening who wants to get started in real estate but doesn't know where to begin, we actually put together a full step-by-step guide inside our school community. So make sure you guys hit the link down below, join our school community. I do a free coaching every Friday, 11 to 11:30. I go through live deals. I go through actually like what we're doing to build this real estate empire, and it's all free, but it won't be for long because you guys are starting to ask a lot of questions, and you know, so I can't get there all the time. But join the thing. I promise you guys, we're gonna give you guys value to get you guys in your very first property. And with that being said, guys, peace.
Peace.